Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on the Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshine. How are y'all doing? I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday already. I don't know what happened, but as soon as the clock struck 4 p.m., all of a sudden, one of my lower level neighbors decided to start drilling into their wall. And then the people who are staying in the apartment next door to me, it's an Airbnb, they just came out of the elevator all loud and whatnot. I'm like, what just happened, y'all? Like, can we please calm it down? My goodness. Anyway, once again, good morning, sunshine. I hope that you guys are having a great day. Today, we don't have as many different topics to discuss. However, we will be going deep into the topics that we do have to discuss, right? So I'm really looking forward to sharing all of that with you guys because they are some rather heavy subjects. So Ali says, good morning. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Listening while I prepare for an interview. Sending you lots of luck, Ali. I hope your interview goes well. Is this a job interview? And I hope you get the gig, girl. Boss lady, I hope you're feeling better today. I know it was a difficult weekend, but I hope that you are feeling a little bit better, a little bit lighter today. And you know what's funny about Montreal is one of my friends here from Paris. She's actually just landed there in Montreal for a visit. I was like, girl, you were brave going to visit Montreal at this time of year, or Canada in general. So I gave her a list of things to do. I said, il faut manger la poutine, you have to eat poutine, try a beaver tail, sucre de cabane. So for those of you who don't know, in Canada during the winter, we have this tradition called sucre de cabane, where you go out in the snow. Maybe you guys, if you have snow and maple syrup wherever you're at, what is it, boss lady? You take a stick, like a popsicle stick, and then you put it down on the snow. Then you take maple syrup and you do like a little ball over the thing, leave it for a little bit, turn it, and then it turns into this maple syrup candy sort of a thing. And it's absolutely delicious. And it's such a Canadian tradition. So I really want her to be able to go ahead and do that. Tadisha, nice to see you. Venetia, Shemjam, Brittany, Jaleesa, Houston, Rose Gardiner, Kristen, Kahara, everybody, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got an awful lot to discuss, you guys. So as you guys saw from the title, we have to talk about Tamar Braxton's big announcement. One thing about Tamar is she is all about that mess. There's always some sort of drama going on with her. And this time it's no different. So she's, you know what? Why don't I let her tell you for herself? And I'm starting to think so too, Allie. What's happening? There's a lot of bachelorette parties that actually happen at that apartment and whatnot. Things like that, or just general vacations. So I would not be surprised. So guys, take a listen to the announcement that Tamar Braxton is about to make. And let me know if you recognize the guy from the radio show who was interviewing her in the first place.
And speaking of reality TV, I've decided to go back to the Braxtons because remember last season I was a friend to the show.
Okay,
congratulations. Yes.
It's only right it got your name on the show.
Yeah, we're going to be also filming the Braxtons, and it's very interesting because my niece is coming on the show, and not to be messy, but I just thought it was important for her to understand that somebody is here for you. Yeah, because I was surprised by that whole, outburst. I guess she got it all. I mean, honest. Mm-hmm. However, I just thought it was important for her to know that somebody is here for her.
So what do y'all think about that? The Braxtons is shooting season 2, and they are going to put their niece on it. And to me personally, I felt a little bit uncomfortable about the fact that now all of a sudden they're going to thrust the niece into the spotlight. And it's mainly because of her allegations. Do you guys remember? It was only a couple months ago that their niece came out and said, hey, listen, when I was young, when I was underage, a teenager, one of my aunt's husbands was trying to have an inappropriate relationship with me, AKA was grooming me. And I went to her, told her about it, and she decided to kick me out of the house because I was staying with her and to just ignore me, cut me off. So they're bringing her on to relive that trauma and to potentially be even traumatized in a worse way, right? Because now there's going to be a bunch of random public people judging her, people who don't even know her or don't even know the full story. And it just, it feels like this family is so committed to toxicity and to just destroying their relationships as much as possible. And it makes me so sad. It really, really does. Because when the Braxton Family Values first came on, it seemed like a wonderful, lovely show of a wonderful, lovely, beautiful, talented family. And just to see how far they've fallen and how far they continue to fall, it breaks my heart. It really, really does. I'm sorry, but like their parents did a terrible job with them. It's rude to say, but it's the truth. They did a terrible job with them. And I also think that their parents also enable the toxicity and the dysfunction as well. They have so much healing to do as a family. But here's the thing. I don't think they're capable of it because they've been given so many chances. They've gone to so many different experts and nothing works because none of them are willing to actually do the work. And none of them are willing to actually hang on to the advice and fully listen, right? They go just to defend themselves and to attack other people. And that's it. And I love that boss lady. She's staying with one of her friends, one of her childhood friends, who's actually been living in Canada for how long now? She's been living in Canada for like 10 years. Boss lady says, so we know it wasn't Tamar, but I'm not surprised. Good morning, Theo. Nice to see you here, per usual. Mary Duda says, Grace, I appreciate you trying to give the benefit of the doubt to Blake, but the messy bunch and enjoy the weirdos fight. We would fight for others when it truly needed. Oh, and stay tuned because we've got a lot to talk about with that, including the full 6 or 7 minute voice note that Justin Baldoni left her on WhatsApp as well. Whose daughter is she? She is the daughter of the brother. So the Braxton sisters actually have a brother named Michael. He works as a nurse. He only popped up here and there on the show. Her name, I believe, is Ashley, and she is his daughter. It's either Ashley or Lauren. And she has popped up in the past, like over 1 or 2 or maybe 3 episodes as somebody's assistant, but nothing too much. And I found it to be rather interesting that Tamar was the one that was announcing her presence on the season because it was rumored that Tamar was the auntie. People were saying it's got to be either Tamar or Trina. And so I guess this leaves Trina at this point. And we know that Trina's late husband, Gabe, was a little bit of like a strange character with a potential ex addiction. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's who it turned out to be. And now that Trina has since been remarried and whatnot, if this is the case, that this was her, maybe she's willing to take accountability. What do you guys think? Would Trina actually take accountability about all of this or no? Let me know. Tidisha says, I hope the season 2 isn't as dark as the first season. And by the way, y'all, I'm going to be recapping this. I was supposed to recap the first season, but it dropped while I was in Canada and it was just too complicated with all and this is why I don't like leaving my home base for an extended amount of time because it's really difficult to maintain a schedule and this and that, especially when you're staying in a home with a child and everything like that. So I will be here at home in Paris when this drops, so I will be recovering season 2 of the show. So stay tuned for that. Houston Rose says that's horrible. They must be running out of money and desperate for attention, right? And they even brought season 1 of the Braxtons because they wanted to do it as a quote tribute to Tracy Braxton, but they were so mean to Tracy when she was alive on the Braxton Family Values. Wasn't there even a time where they boycotted Tracy because Tracy wanted to continue filming from the show? Tracy had to bring in Phaedra Parks to film with her because the sisters didn't want to film with her, and it was like this whole thing. And there's one thing that I will never ever forget about the Braxtons. It's like one of the meanest things I've ever seen from them, anyway. And it was season 1. They're all there talking about their dysfunctional relationship, right? And the counselor asked, what would it take for you guys to be able to come together? So they go around the table and the girls are talking about real things. Star, nice to see you. Are your notifications working now or are you coming on your own? Because either way, I'm curious. I just want to know if the bell notification is working or not. And I know you had issues with it in the past. And good morning to you, Outshine, and everybody else tuning in. So the girls are talking about, I need more communication. I need more this, more that. And then they get to Tony Braxton, who at the time was like the big star. No one cared about Tamar or anything else, right? Because it was season 1. We didn't know the other girls like that. So she goes, I need for Tracy to lose about 15 pounds at least. Can you imagine that? Like, you're just there trying to get along with your sister. You feel left behind by all of the sisters because you got pregnant and they all continued with their record deals. And one of your sisters says, if you want to have a nice relationship with her, you have to lose a minimum of 15 pounds. What is that impact in our actual relationship, right? Like, that was just so foul. So to think that people who treated her like that and who shunned her and who all sorts of things now all of a sudden come together after her passing to do a season of the show and everything like that, quote unquote, in her honor, it's BS. It truly is, honestly. Shem says, I stopped watching Braxton Family Values years ago. Didn't even know it was still on air. I used to watch Tamar and Vince too. And I loved Tamar and Vince as well. Like, these girls had me hooked from the beginning. But like you, Shem, I have checked out due to just the toxic, heavy nature. Like, I wish they could have been like the Kardashians. You know, the Kardashians, it's a whole bunch of girls just like the Braxtons, and like they don't even have like a sliver of the talent that the Braxtons have, yet they still manage to make it fun, fresh, interesting, light, and everything like that. Like, yeah, there have been some fights, some feuds and everything like that, but never on the level of the Braxtons. Like, that stuff was dark. Do y'all remember when Tamar shaved her head and then they had Iyanla try and fix their lives, and then she snapped? Like, she was giving, like, you know, what is that expression? Flew over the cuckoo's nest. Do you guys remember that film with Robin Williams? Like, it was giving, like, you know, she has serious issues, right? That was so hard to watch. Like, it's been rough. Thank you. Ashley said it was Trina and Gabe. I wonder if Trina is going to take responsibility, apologize, and move forward in a positive direction with her niece, because her niece did not deserve that. And I'm not surprised that it was Gabe, because Gabe was kind of a creep. He really, really was, with his, you know, with his extracurricular activities and his shifty eyes and whatnot. You know, I can't. Carolyn says, I never watched. My sister does, and that explains it for me. Listen, I guess if you're getting the recaps from your sister, it's better, because it's true that these kinds of like toxic shows do make you feel heavy. You know, you just feel like, oh, your spirit is bothered. For example, with the last season of The Real Housewives of Potomac, I didn't watch because it was so ugly. And I hate to have that kind of energy around me. Married at First Love is Blind Mary is coming back on February 14th. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Now, you guys, get ready for the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, and Ryan Reynolds of it all coming up. This thing is just so heavy right now. There are so many new court dockets to discuss, and then we've got new evidence to discuss. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about that next, okay, you guys? And I want to go to what Star had to say about the 20 to 40 pounds. Yeah, Tracy needs to lose 20 to 40 pounds now and stop thinking that her tummy hanging out like that is hot, because it's not. Oh, you have it memorized. Like, that was such an ugly thing to say to your own sister. Like, that is so bad. It has no impact on your actual relationship with her, right? Her weight or anything like that. Not cool, Tony. Not cool at all. Now, you guys, we got a lot to cover when it comes to Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Okay, so first of all, Blake and Ryan's lawyers have been harassing that judge, begging him to put a muzzle on Justin Baldoni's lawyers, because Justin Baldoni is currently winning in the court of public opinion. They have put out so much content, including a 10-minute video clip that showed Blake Lively trying to control the scene, even though she was not the director of the film. And then they showed that Justin was very clear that they were going to be, you know, having some nose-to-nose touching, some lip touching. And then Blake provides input saying, yeah, let's not give them exactly what they want. Like, let's not make out, just like, you know, tease it or whatever. So they were both very much aware of the scene that they were filming that day. We also have text messages that Blake had sent to him saying that it was a great film, a great scene, that they both did a great job, etc. And then they leaked this text message as well, which we will get back to a little bit later. Sorry, that's not the text. This one is the text messages, which we will get back to a little bit later because it has to do with why Justin Baldoni was sending Blake Lively a 7-minute voice note at around 2 in the morning. So why don't we start off by talking about Blake and Ryan running to the courts, shall we? And I do have those screenshots. Give me one quick second to go ahead and pull them up for you guys. And while I'm here pulling them up, if you guys are enjoying today's morning report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give the stream a thumbs up. Where is that? Shout out to the Daily Fail for this as well. Typically, I avoid the Daily Fail. If you guys ever find that there's some information that you want to read, but it's on the Daily Fail website, and this website is so difficult to navigate because of all the pop-ups, all the ads, it's very, very, very user unfriendly. I recommend that you guys go to 12ft.io. They strip all of that for you. Even if you get like these paywalls and stuff like that, those websites, go here, put the link in there. And they get rid of all of it so that it's a lot easier for you to go ahead and read these things. So that's how I managed to survive that website. They've actually been doing a really, really good job of staying on top of this case. But again, their website is extremely user unfriendly. So I can't stand it. I have to use a third party in order to get to it. So for those of you who are just joining us now, I am pulling up some pages that Blake and Ryan Reynolds' lawyers had submitted in court to get the judge to hurry up and put a muzzle on Justin Baldoni and his lawyers. And guys, it actually kind of worked, okay? And we're going to talk about how that is. So Wilkie Farr and Gallagher LLP is the name of their law firm. They're writing to the judge, Honorable Louis J. Lehman, saying, and I quote, "Dear Judge Lehman, we write on behalf of plaintiff Blake Lively in the Lively case and defendants Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in the Wayfarer case, together the Lively Reynolds parties, to bring to the court's attention Mr. Brian Friedman's continued extrajudicial misconduct and to request a conference at the court's earliest convenience to address the Lively Reynolds parties' growing concerns regarding Mr. Friedman's behavior." On Saturday, January 25th, 2025, in direct response to filings from the Lively Reynolds parties to this court regarding Mr. Friedman's recent extrajudicial behavior, Mr. Friedman issued additional inflammatory content to tabloid media outlets that contains multiple false and defamatory statements and character attacks against Ms. Lively. Those statements include, 1, that Ms. Lively filed her California Civil Rights Department complaint, which was reported by the New York Times with the, quote, sole intent to ruin the lives of innocent individuals, and then went the extra mile to place blame on a fictitious smear campaign. And 2, that Ms. Lively's sexual harassment and retaliation complaint has, quote, devastated the entirety of the domestic violence community. That's a little bit exaggerated, by the way, Baldoni. Like, the entire DV community is outraged by this. It's a little bit exaggerated to say that. So I can agree with them taking issue with that. Number 3, Mr. Friedman also falsely asserted that the Lively Reynolds parties had raised concerns about his unethical and unprofessional behavior only because Ms. Lively is fearful of the truth. And so in the other page that I've got here, what did they say? Let me go ahead and pump it up for myself. Gotta pump it up. Mr. Friedman has made it apparent that he is engaging in this extrajudicial campaign to influence these proceedings and the public perception of legal filings to this court, and there already is a serious risk that his misconduct is tainting the jury pool. See New York Rules of Pro Conduct. He further has made it clear that his priority is to, quote, torpedo Blake Lively's career for good by, among other things, creating a website to release strategically selected documents and communications between Ms. Lively and Mr. Baldoni. The planned website will release what Mr. Friedman self-servingly proclaims will be full, unedited WhatsApp text and email messages between Lively and Baldoni, although neither the media nor public will have any way of knowing which communications Mr. Friedman has selectively omitted from disclosure, including communications that Mr. Friedman and his clients may have deleted. This website presumably also will not include the communications that Mr. Friedman and his clients have had with their hand-selected media outlets and social media influencers during the past month. Woo! So let's stop right there for a quick second. They're saying that Justin Baldoni, his hands are not clean here. He and his team really are running a smear campaign against Blake Lively, and that they are currently working with social media influencers in order to make him look good in the public eye. What do y'all think about this? In my opinion, I kind of think that this is unraveling naturally, to be honest with you, just based off the information that is here. Maybe information is biased, like I could believe that part potentially, right? But I think that based off the information that has been given and the majority of the information that's been given here is painting Justin in a better light than Blake, I think that this is a natural consequence of that. And it is a good picture, isn't it, Brittany? Oh, he is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful man, okay? I don't know, y'all. So far, I feel like I see both sides here. I do. I see why Justin and his team want to go ahead and put all of this stuff out there, right? Because this situation already became super duper public through the New York Times expose. And so when you're already blasted in public like that, to the point where your public image tanks, and as an actor, you need to have a good public image. The public needs to like you. I see why he would be fighting as hard as possible to rehab that image. But at the same time, from Blake and her team's perspective, the problem here is, and I believe it was New York Times, because they were filming this in New York. And, they were both in New York for this. So I'll say 2 a.m. New York time. But someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But the problem is that they are going to be having a jury trial. And when you're dealing with a jury, you do run the risk of making it next to impossible to have a jury, an unbiased jury, when you put all of this information out there publicly, when only one side is putting all this information out there. So I actually do think that potentially Blake and her team are going to be able to get that gag order. What about you guys? What do you think? Jeannie, no, Blake did not leave a long voice note. She sent a long text message, which I did tease a little bit earlier. Let me go ahead and pull it back up there. It's the one where she's calling herself Khaleesi, and she's calling Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift her beautiful dragons who protect her. So basically, she sent him a veiled threat that, like, she's got these powerful people on her side that can be used for good or evil. Right. And I do think that's something that, like, he and his team are going to be heavily arguing as well. But yeah, I do think that her team does have a point. And I think that they can potentially limit the amount of information that he puts out there. Although I'm seeing that Ali says gag orders don't happen for civil trials, apparently. But then why would they be fighting to get it in the court? And why would the judge be moving up their hearing? Because the pretrial hearing was supposed to be for later on in February, but due to all of this stuff that they were sending, they asked 3 times within a couple of hours, within like 72 hours or less, for the judge to stop everything, shut it all down. Oh, Lord, y'all. It's bad. Okay, so now let's just keep reading here a little bit. I had to pause just to bring that up, but I want to continue. And guys, I have some brow gel stuck on my left brow. Forgive me for that. What else did I say? Where did I leave off? Okay, I might have to reread some of the things. Okay. This website presumably also will not include, so when they talked about him paying off social media influencers during the past month, or allegedly doing that, including certain of his current or former media and social media clients who either have hosted Mr. Friedman on air or parroted his narrative online. That is a shout out to Megyn Kelly. Any such website, therefore, will be incomplete, biased, and prejudicial by design. Mr. Friedman's most recent statements, which are designed to leverage non-judicial channels to rebuke filings made in this court, are not just improper under Rule 3.6, they are actionable defamation. Mr. Friedman is entitled, of course, to defend his client, but the law does not privilege the publication of knowingly false statements about Ms. Lively or any other third party to the press. That is precisely what he did this weekend. Mr. Friedman's repeated media attacks of a victim of sexual harassment, engaging in a protected activity, and his weaponization of media outlets to broadly disseminate these false, defamatory, and misleading statements have the potential to prejudice a jury pool beyond repair. This conduct essentially is troubling here, where Ms. Lively's complaint alleges, with concrete evidence, in the way Wayfarer's defendant's own words, that Ms. Lively suffered retaliation in the form of a coordinated. And then the rest of that cuts off. Again, I got these screenshots from the Daily Mail, but unfortunately, there were 4 pages and they only put up 2. And I searched everywhere and I couldn't find the other 2. But there y'all go for now. I don't know. Again, guys, I really do think that the judge might be leaning towards their side on this, because again, the judge did end up moving the pre-trial date. Okay, let me go ahead and pull that information up. Boom. I've got that right here, you guys. This is one of the documents announcing it, or the official document announcing it. Shout out to More with MJ over on Threads. She is an attorney who also shares her opinions online. And just for you guys' information, she is very heavily anti-Justin Baldoni. Do with that information what you will. But she said, hey, listen, the judge so far is looking like he is more so trying to get all of this to calm down. Okay, so this is his order. The initial pretrial conference, currently scheduled for February 12th, 2025, is rescheduled to February 3rd, 2025 at 11 a.m. in courtroom 15C at the 500 Pearl Street Courthouse. I just know a bunch of people are going to be camped out, as they should, get us the tea, waiting for information in front of the court. By the way, for those of you who are hoping that this was going to be streamed or something like that, similar to the way that the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard lawsuit was streamed, no, that's not going to be the case. So by the way, you guys, that's in less than a week. This is an emergency thing. That hearing was supposed to be in 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks, but now it's going to be in less than a week. The judge is like, listen, I am done. Blake and Ryan's lawyers are out here messaging me left, right, and center all the damn time, begging for this damn gag order. I am sick and tired of this. To my courtroom immediately. And I don't know, that makes me nervous for Justin Baldoni. The parties shall be prepared to address the letter motion regarding pretrial publicity and attorney conduct at the initial pretrial conference. So there you go. That is going to be a big topic of conversation, if not the main topic of conversation, the way in which Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios attorneys are conducting themselves in public. Pending responses to the order to show cause, the court plans to consolidate this matter with Wayfarer Studios versus Lively and set both matters for trial on March 9th, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. By Thursday, January 30th, 2025, the parties shall submit a case management plan with deadlines which would enable trial to occur on that date. So the judge handed this down just yesterday. And he's saying, you guys have 3 days to tell me a timeline of everything y'all plan to submit for this case. And that case, again, is going to be officially heard next year. What was that date again for next year? It was supposed to be March 9th, 2026. Ooh, Lord. And again, that is something that's happening rather quickly as well. Typically, it could take even 2 years for these things to go to trial. Once again, information courtesy of attorney More with MJ, who you can go ahead and follow on Threads. So let's get into some of the comments that y'all are leaving about the situation. Abu Berry says, but Blake Lively, knowing they were going to sue, released doctored information and text to influence the public's opinion of Justin Baldoni. They can't say it's okay for them and not okay for him to do. Yeah, I agree. I think that that's probably like the biggest what is it? The sentiment that like most people share, which is y'all started this in the New York Times. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. He has the right to go ahead and defend himself. Like he was dropped by his management team. He lost a lot of money, all sorts of things when that New York Times hit piece or expose went public. Adriana says, I don't agree. They started this. She ruined his reputation publicly, so he has every right to defend himself publicly. Yep. It really looks like y'all are on the same page. And finally, someone responded to my question from earlier about the Tamar Braxton story. Yes, that was ink in the video asking Tamar. That was a crossover I was not expecting, right? Theo says, I feel that it would be easy to find an unbiased jury pool. The average American wouldn't be able to pick Lively out of our lineup. Oh, Lord. But you know what? I think that could apply to Justin Baldoni too, because I think that she's more famous than him, right? Or like, I believe so personally. I'm glad they moved this up. It works better with my schedule. You know what, Ali? I think they did it specifically for your schedule too. Happy Tuesday to you as well, Hamlet's princess. Now, next on the story that we had to talk about, you guys, was Justin Baldoni's 7-minute long voice message to Blake Lively. So before we play it, because I do have the full message, and of course I will play it in its entirety in case any of you guys were not aware or hadn't heard it yet, but he's responding to a text message that Blake Lively sent him at 1:51 in the morning. It was a message about how she had him over at the house. She was trying to intimidate him or whatever, coerce him to accept her version of the rooftop scene by discussing it in front of Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, which, by the way, I think that moving forward, Justin Baldoni and other filmmakers need to have some level of confidentiality in their agreements with actors. I think it's ridiculous that Blake's husband and friend were given so much access to this project, enough access that they felt like they, I'm hearing now, by the way, for example, that Taylor Swift influenced the casting of young Lily. Why? Like they used one of Taylor's songs for the soundtrack, but what gave her the power, the right to do that? And then Blake Lively initially claimed that she was the one who reworked the rooftop scene, but then later she's claiming that her husband did it. So what the hell is going on here? Like they need to have stronger contracts in place moving forward so that this sort of thing doesn't happen again. It was extremely inappropriate. Okay. So, so here you see that, her message to him was sent at 1:49 in the morning, and it said, and it was in response to a message that he had sent. Unfortunately, I cannot see at what time he sent it. I think it was at 10 p.m. or something like that. He said, it was great working on the rooftop scene today. I really love what you did. It really does help a lot. Makes it so much more fun and interesting. And I would have felt that way without Ryan and Taylor. Winky face. You really are a talent across the board. Really excited and grateful to do this together. And then again, Blake responds at 1 in the morning or almost 2. That's very appreciated and means a lot. I'm deeply inspired by the film we're going to make outside of the success of this book. We have such an opportunity to not only surprise people who love the book, but reach an even bigger audience by making an undeniably dynamic and also commercial film. The moment that excited me the most the other day was when you said, you're not funny. You are going to kill that rooftop scene. You know it, I'm sure. Even though it was said in playful self-deprecation that we all participate in, it made me think of the process as a whole. Please know, I trust that on the day you've got me, and I hope that you trust that I've got you, if you want it. We're in this together, and we're two of the most determined people I know. We also have very high bars set for ourselves. To collaborate with that type of partner is a gift that neither of us will squander because we both care too much about the results and also the experience. I have no motives except for you to win as a director, as an actor, as a studio, as a writer. If you win, I win. If you win, our movie wins. We are aligned, and I will bring everything I have to this, which again, It makes me so sad reading these messages. They had a wonderful rapport with each other. They were both so respectful with each other, right? Like it seemed like they got along swimmingly. What changed? How did things get so damn ugly between the two of them? I can't, I hate this for them. I'm sure that they both rue the day that they ever agreed to work on this film together. So now, in response to that, Justin Baldoni sent Blake a voice message, okay? And I've got access to that right here. Let's go ahead and listen to it together. If you're watching me live, please go ahead and continue leaving your comments in the live chat. I will be reading them in the background as the video plays. And if you're watching the playback, feel free to do the same with the comment section and same thing, okay?
Hey, Blake. It is 2 a.m. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew. Wow. There's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just going to send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not going to be more than a few minutes. But that I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank, and I'm really sorry. I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that, and the way you framed it, and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust and vulnerability, and I feel really grateful that you feel safe enough to tell me that that's how you feel and share that with me. And I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I'm a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm gonna f*** up. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off probably, but I will always apologize and find my way back to center. That is one thing I can assure you of. And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That must have felt terrible. And I will for sure do better. That was not my best weekend, and I should have given it more time. And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that. And we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they're two of the most creative people on the planet. The three of you guys together is unbelievable. Talk about energy and just a force, all three of you. But I just wanted you to know that I didn't need that, because it's really good, and it's going to make the movie sing like you said, and I'm excited to go through the whole movie with you. You know, I think, and you and I have been trying to build a relationship, which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are talking like this, me into my phone at 2 a.m, but largely via text and voice note. And that, I will be honest with you, that is not my biggest strength. I love being with people and being in somebody's space and being face to face, and I feel like that's where I excel, and definitely fallen short at times in our text and voice note exchanges, because there's so much to communicate and there's so much happening, and all that to say, I'm just really looking forward to spending time together, and I think that's going to really go a long way for our chemistry, which I believe is there and has been there from the start. So I was so damn excited when you wanted to do this film. I felt it in the room when we met, and yeah, I think it does come from the both of us being so fucking hardworking and having a vision and not settling. And I'm excited to have a creative partner in that with you. And it's just really exciting. There's so much more to say. There's so much I want to say. Oh, and there's one thing that I do need to say, which is, I am so sorry you have been through what you've been through with these other filmmakers and producers or whoever the people were that you worked with. It just me off. Those heads that, I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be, and hopefully it's not been the experience with me. There's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want. And so there's been no hesitancy with me sending you the final draft file. I am totally fine with that. The only reason I didn't send it today was because I was trying to implement and add your notes into my working draft, which is already like I'm all over that draft right now. So there's a whole bunch of new stars that are going to be collated pages. And I just haven't had a chance to send it to you. But there's no hesitancy. I'm happy to send it to you. And I'm sorry that that has happened to you before. And I hope after this experience there will be a new, I don't know, I hope it'll be healing in some way. Because that's all I want. I want this movie to be healing. I want this movie to be commercial just like you and affect people and touch people. And I want to walk you through my whole plan and the work that we're doing with the domestic violence partner that we found no more and just my vision. And I just know that this can be really, really special, and it's going to be special. And you're the secret sauce, and we're the secret sauce. And anyways, I have so much more to say. I'm going to stop rambling because Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 a.m. I hope you're feeling better, and give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that. And I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done cutting myself off. Good night.
Oh my God, you guys. And y'all felt it too. Reading you guys' messages over there in the live chat, y'all had me rolling. That voice, that face, those things put together, talking about you want all of me. You're so excited. What did he say? I can't wait to see you again and stuff like that. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Like, yeah. But I saw a question posed by Zoe. Was this after? Yes, this was immediately after, about 10 minutes after Blake had texted him about Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds being her dragons and her being Khaleesi. Like, that was a veiled threat. And I think that that's why he was like, doing this, sending this big message like, oh, I'm so sorry if you felt like I wasn't listening, this, that, and the other. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting here. Perhaps you guys get a different interpretation, in which case, please definitely do feel free to let me know in the comment section if you're part of my playback posse, or in the live chat if you're watching live. Though I do have a question for you guys. It has been said that another big issue was that Blake had ghosted Justin Baldoni and production because of this scene. She was extremely insistent that that scene make it into the show, and he wasn't loving it too much because that was a scene that he was really excited to write, and he already had his final version. He didn't understand why an actress was coming in and trying to take it over. I don't know, y'all. This is the thing that I truly don't understand here. It's why were they so insistent about rewriting the rooftop scene? Will we get a director's cut eventually so we could see the difference between the two of them? Was it going to be something like more intimate that like Ryan Reynolds was scared of or something like that? I don't know. Because the thing that's the weirdest about all of this to me is that Blake didn't even actually end up being the one to write the scene. She later brags that it was Ryan Reynolds who wrote the scene. So why are you going so hard to bat over a scene, claiming it's you, claiming that like everyone is sexist against you, they never give you a chance, only come to find out a man wrote it? What, like you're calling feminism all this stuff, but a man wrote it. So you want your male husband to benefit from feminism and your victim act? Like, that's what's so confusing to me. And Ryan Reynolds, he was working on Deadpool at the time. So why did he even have the time, energy, or interest? They had a newborn baby at home, 3 others who were still very young. So why did he have so much spare time for this? That's what I truly can't wrap my mind around here, right? Like, it's just so odd. I did see another message. Oh, wait, First of all, let me see what y'all are saying here about that rooftop scene. Ali says the rooftop scene as it currently stands was cringe. That doesn't surprise me. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift, they're all corny as hell, So if they thought it was amazing, I'm sure it was corny as hell. Theo says the rooftop scene was so stupid. I was cringing the whole time. Listen, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Candace Owen says Ryan Reynolds was jealous. Something set him off. Maybe it was this voicemail. If I were Blake Lively's husband, right, and someone that looks like this was sending her a message like that, talking about he can't wait to have all of her, I'm crashing out. I am crashing the F out. And there is no coming back from that. So I wouldn't be surprised. What if she only said that after people, so if she wanted to save face by throwing that man under the bus, in which case you go, girl. But either way, it's all so odd. And yeah, why did Ryan Reynolds even have access to the dailies either? It's also weird. But it's like Crème Brûlée is saying, and what some of you guys have also been saying in the chat, it's that rumors have been around forever, about Ryan Reynolds' is allegedly controlling nature, ever since he was actually married to Scarlett Johansson, right? Apparently he doesn't like for his women to shine too much or anything like that. So maybe the scene would have been too good. And so he wanted to dim it a little bit so that Blake didn't pop off the way she should pop off, I guess. I don't know. But it's all so weird, right? Boss Lady says that part I don't understand either. The fact that Ryan wrote the scene, right? They had so much to do in their own damn house, with a newborn baby, 3 other little kids running around. He had his own big movie. Yet this is what they chose to do? Very odd. Very, very odd, right? Now let's get into Ramster. Shout out to you, Ramster. Ramster's another one of my OGs who's been here like for almost 10 years now since I launched my YouTube channel. Am I the only one that feels this has a high lover scorned feel? No idea if it's Baldoni or Lively, but one of them is offended. I get that vibe too. And I think it goes back to, remember when she was accusing him of being attracted to her or something like that, or something about like some romantic scene they were shooting. And he's like, girl, I'm not attracted to you. And she probably felt offended because she thought, hey, listen, everyone should be attracted to me, or something. I don't know. A lot of people are saying that maybe it started there, but I do get the vibe too that something happened maybe on both ends. Like there's something so weird. Why is Justin Baldoni talk about he wants to have all of her? And then at the end of that voice message, what does he say? Let me go ahead and play it here again. At the end of the voice message, he says something else that is a little bit questionable. He does mention his wife. He does mention her husband, but then he does say some things that are a little bit cheeky nonetheless. Okay, so let me go ahead and play it back.
Seconds, so me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 a.m. I hope you're feeling better, and give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that. And I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done cutting myself off. Good night.
So there you go. And I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done cutting myself off. Like, it's given flirt. He could have been attracted on his end too. Maybe they were both attracted to each other. And then something went wrong. And Theo never, that photo is too damn beautiful, right? Something happened there. And I think that whatever happened is going to come out as these lawsuits progress. They can't hide it. I think both sides have something to hide. Something very, very, I don't want to say sinister, but something very shady to hide. Because there are some little holes in both sides' explanations and claims about what went on here. Ali says, Ryan was worried that Blake was having an affair. You lose them, how you get them. Ain't that the truth? You'll always have to worry about that when you start your relationship on that kind of a foot, right? That weird interview with Atlas and Ryan Reynolds' mom was in it too. I heard about that, but I haven't yet had the time to watch that interview. Al Michelle says, Blake and Ryan wanted to make the movie lighter than a DV movie, so they tried to make it funnier, and Ryan thinks he's funny. Ooh, it could have been that too. Oh my God, his sense of humor is so annoying. You know, my friend Julie, shout out to you, Julie, if you're watching. She actually just sent me this TikTok video saying that Blake and Ryan ruined marriage for millennials with their like humor about like, you know, I hate my wife shtick sort of a thing, which made me laugh. It's very weird humor. It really, really is. But listen, y'all, I don't know. Lots of weird stuff going on. I think that both sides have something to hide here. And both sides are going to be exposed by the other side as well, right? Ramster says, maybe this whole case is being played to have more people watch the movie. I haven't seen it, and I'm not going to. Cami says, a baby on your boob, 911. Right? There's a lot of very odd things. Ferris says, you lose them how you get them. Y'all, keep an eye out on this. This is just the beginning. It really, really is. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to watch this play out on streaming or anything like that, but more info is certainly to come. And again, I'm going to pull up my calendar. The February 3rd is for the pre-trial hearing, and that is just next Monday. So in only 6 days from now, we're going to get more information about how they are going to have to move forward. Rad Rabbit says, maybe I kind of feel that JB's touchy-feely boundary issues and the smoke blowing that goes on in Housewives, right? It could have been anything, but they started off so strong. They seemed so close. They seemed to really, really like gravitate towards one another, and then it goes wrong. What other things cause that sort of thing? You know, like a breakup? I don't know, y'all. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, per usual, doing the morning report with you guys again. Allie, good luck to you on your interview. I hope you get the gig. And for the rest of you guys, I am wishing you a happy rest of your day. Thank you once again for joining me. Per usual, I do the morning report every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to come back and join us for tomorrow's morning report as well. If you enjoyed this, please do me a favor and leave a like, a thumbs up, so that YouTube knows that you enjoy my content and the morning report as well. And I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, guys. Bye. Have a great day.